Hello, welcome back. I hope you're having an amazing day. Today I want to share 21 minimalist habits that you could adopt today for a more simplified life. The first on my list is that decluttering is an ongoing process. So every season I like to go through my home and go through each room and just make sure that we are not gathering too many items. And normally each season I can find at least 1 or 2 items that can be donated or that need to leave our home. The second item on my list is to make mindful purchases. This can be harder than it seems, but I like to do a lot of research before I make a big purchase, and I try not to make those small purchases that can be made on impulse. Third on my list is to keep our surfaces as clear as possible. I found that clutter attracts more clutter, and if I can keep all of our kitchen counters clear, they stay that way, and it's so much easier to cook something or make a meal when we are ready to use our kitchen. I try to clean and tidy throughout my day. Whenever I get an extra minute here and there, I just find it so much easier to clean as I go rather than save everything to a certain day or time. And these tasks are much quicker if they're done throughout the day. And that brings me to the 1-minute rule. If there's a task that can be done in 1 minute or less, it's easier just to do that right away than to save it and have to remember to come back to it at a later time. I try to be grateful and mindful for everything I do have, for my family, and for all the items that we do keep and enjoy. And it can be hard sometimes to not want the newest, latest, greatest thing, but it feels better to use what we have because it is better for the environment, and then we're not having to spend our whole lives working just to buy things. Clear the clutter is what I like to say. So as soon as I am ready to declutter something, I try to get rid of it as quickly as possible. For instance, when we decided we did not need this IKEA bed anymore, I sold it on Facebook Marketplace. I have a whole video on this I can link down below. It was actually pretty funny, but we took the bed apart as soon as we knew we didn't need it, and we tried to find someone who could use it. And we did come across a few challenges, as you can see here.
Can we throw it out the window?
We got a problem here. This is fun. So this is the conundrum we're in.
Oy.
Wall, wall, wall.
Shannon.
Maybe it's in my purse.
Oh, I'll go looking there.
Good thing you have a little elf helper.
When simple things become difficult. In the end, we were able to turn the bed on its side and we were able to get it out of the hallway. But our second problem happened where the guy did not show up to pick up the bed for a day. So again, it's not always easy to clear the clutter, but I try my best to get it out as quickly as possible. The next habit I think is really important is to not only create space by decluttering all the items you don't need, which I have a full decluttering ebook that I will link down below in case you're interested, but also try to embrace the space. So sometimes open spaces can feel kind of weird. We want to fill it up. But now that I am used to open areas in my home and clear surfaces, I actually feel way more calm and relaxed. Another great habit is to try to get comfortable saying no thank you to things that people offer you. This was actually quite hard for me because I always said, sure, I'll take that whenever something was offered. And that is actually what added to a lot of the clutter that ended up being in our home. It wasn't things that I bought myself. A lot of it was stuff that was handed down to us and that we did not really need.
That bedroom there.
Oh, I think I made those.
You did. You made them by hand. You want them back? No?
No.
You can have one. Okay.
Habit number 10 is to buy quality items over quantity. I feel this really works when you're buying clothing items to invest in a nice shirt or a nice pair of pants. I find it will last years rather than buying cheap things that have to be replaced really quickly. And this also works in our kitchen when it comes to appliances. We splurged on a Ninja blender and it is still working, and we use it several times a day, and it's still going strong after about 4 years. Another great habit to adopt is to become more environmentally friendly. And with that, we like to reuse, repurpose, and resell any items we can. For instance, when I redid my pantry here, I just used some containers we already had in our house, so I did not have to go out and buy anything new. This not only saves the environment, but it also saves money. Creating a budget will help you to stay minimal because you will realize that you don't want to spend your money on things that you don't really need. So we try to meal plan, and that's another way to save some money with budgeting. And here we're making our own sushi rolls because where we live, they're quite expensive. And it's also a fun activity, but definitely budgeting is a great minimalist habit to adopt. And you can start right now by figuring out what you have to spend and what you want to save. Using what you have is a great minimalist habit to adopt if you haven't already. So for instance, when we realized we were going to have to homeschool and do distance learning, I just pulled out our old computer and got it working and used our old desk, everything we already had. Pack lightly when you travel, even in your everyday travels to the store. I always try to bring the least amount of things possible and only bring the necessities with us. And especially when we go on a trip, I try to bring very few items because I find it to be more of a burden, and most of the time we don't even need these extra things that we bring. Number 15 is to create a capsule wardrobe or adopt a minimalist wardrobe. Just try to whittle down what you have. And I can tell you firsthand, this is what made me feel the most minimalist and simplified my life the most out of every single thing that I did. I go over this in my mini course that, again, I have linked down below, but this is so simple to achieve, and just going through and really knowing what you have can save you a lot of time and money in the long run because you won't be making duplicate purchases of clothing items that you didn't even know you had in the back of a drawer. And it will also help with knowing what outfits go together, which will give you more time when you're trying to get ready in the morning or wherever you need to go in the day. Drive less often, and I know this is not always possible, but I try to combine trips. So for instance, if I need something from the grocery store and I also need to get gas, I will do that in one outing if possible, and this saves time and money. Try to collect memories and not things. Since becoming more minimal, I try to focus on doing fun things with my family rather than going out and spending money on buying things or feeling as if we have to pay to do something. I just try to collect all these memories and have a really fun time without worrying about gathering more stuff. Number 18 is to stand by your choices. So if you want to be minimal and declutter, don't let anything anybody tells you hold you back. When I first started decluttering and becoming more minimal and talking about wanting to have less and wanting to save money by not buying anything and become more environmentally friendly and switch things out, I did get a few comments from people online in real life saying, that's kind of weird, and they just did not understand it. But that's okay. Just be true to yourself and stand by your choices that you want to make and do what is good for you in the long run. Number 19 is to try to be okay with not being busy all the time. It's one thing to try to have a productive day, but I found it's another thing to really cram too many things in one day to where I feel stressed out. So I try to be okay without being busy constantly. And this brings me to the more I declutter, the more I am a conscious consumer. That's kind of hard to say, but the more things I see myself decluttering and helping other people declutter, I realize that I really want to be conscious of where I'm getting my items from and to make sure they're high quality and I'm not just going to turn around and declutter them right away. Also, only keep things that I truly love in my home, and I avoid impulse buys. And the quickest and easiest way to avoid impulse buys is to stop shopping unless you really need something. So I normally only go out shopping when we need to buy food, and I only shop online when we really need to replace something. I follow the one in, one out policy, which helps to keep us minimal and keep our lives simple. Make sure you check out my decluttering mini course linked in the description box down below. I go over exactly how to declutter your home room by room with examples. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button to join my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!